The movie opens with a dangerous police chase on the streets of New York City. A group of bank robbers is fleeing after a robbery while firing at pursuing police officers. Despite their efforts, the police are unable to stop the criminals. Meanwhile, the city's most powerful man, Hancock, is sleeping near a park in a drunken state. Hancock possesses superhuman abilities, including flight, immense strength, and near invulnerability. However, because of his reckless behavior and drinking problem, the public dislikes him. Although he tries to help people, he often causes more damage than necessary. A young boy approaches him and informs him that criminals are escaping after a bank robbery. Hancock ignores the warning and attempts to go back to sleep. When the boy angrily insults him before leaving, Hancock's ego is triggered, and he immediately launches himself into the sky. Within moments, he catches up to the criminals. In an attempt to stop them, he flies straight through a large billboard at high speed. The billboard collapses onto the street, causing several police vehicles to crash. While trying to catch the robbers, Hancock creates massive destruction throughout the area. He then smashes through the robbers' moving car and lands inside. The criminals open fire on him, but the bullets have no effect due to his powers. Hancock lifts the entire vehicle into the air and flies above the city with it. He tells the criminals that they broke his sunglasses and must pay for it. Hancock then crashes the car into several buildings. Terrified, the robbers beg for mercy. Finally, he leaves their vehicle stuck on the sharp top of a tall tower, trapping them there. Although the criminals are captured, the citizens are not impressed. Instead of praising Hancock, they become even more frustrated with him because his actions caused nearly $9 million in property damage. Despite the criticism he receives from the public, Hancock continues his old habits and spends most of his time drinking. Meanwhile, a corporate executive named Embrey is returning home after a disappointing meeting at work. On the way, he becomes stuck in a massive traffic jam. Moments later, he hears a train horn and realizes that his car is stopped directly on a railroad crossing. A speeding train is rapidly approaching him. Ray repeatedly honks his horn and tries to get the surrounding vehicles to move, but no one responds. He then attempts to get out of the car, only to discover that the door will not open. As panic sets in, he becomes convinced that he is about to die. At that moment, Hancock suddenly arrives. He throws Ray's car away from the tracks and then uses his superhuman strength to stop the speeding train. Although the train is stopped, the impact severely damages the engine. Ray survives, but his car lands on another vehicle, causing injuries and additional damage. As a result, the crowd once again criticizes Hancock. Many people believe he could have saved Ray without causing so much destruction. However, Ray sees things differently. Grateful for having his life saved, he thanks Hancock and invites him to his home since his own car has been destroyed. At home, Ray introduces Hancock to his wife Mary and their son Aaron. The moment Mary sees Hancock, she seems strangely uncomfortable, although she does not explain why. Aaron, on the other hand, immediately admires him. During lunch, Hancock's rude behavior irritates Mary even more. At one point, Aaron talks about a boy at school who constantly bullies him. Hancock advises him to stand up for himself and fight back if necessary. Mary disagrees and argues that violence is not the answer to every problem. Later, as Hancock prepares to leave, Ray tells him that he has the potential to be a true hero. If he learns to use his powers responsibly and changes his behavior, people may eventually respect him instead of hating him. Since Ray works in public relations, he offers to help improve Hancock's image. He gives Hancock his business card and tells him to contact him whenever he is ready. After this conversation, several days pass, and Hancock returns to his normal routine. One day, Hancock begins to think that he needs to change his life, so he decides to meet Ray Embrey again at his house. As he lands from the sky, his impact cracks the concrete road. At that moment, a boy named Michelle, who bullies Aaron, starts insulting him. Hancock tolerates the insults for a while, but eventually, he angrily throws the boy into the air. Ray comes outside to talk to him, but at that moment, Michelle falls from above toward Ray's head. Hancock quickly catches him and prevents the accident. Ray tells Hancock that this kind of behavior cannot continue. He takes him inside the house and shows him old videos of his past actions, uploaded online, where Hancock is seen repeatedly causing destruction while trying to help people. Soon after, they see a news report on TV stating that a woman is planning to file a lawsuit against him, and authorities are preparing to take action against superheroes. Hancock is now being treated as a criminal under the law. Ray comes up with a plan. He tells Hancock that this is the perfect opportunity to improve his image. If he voluntarily turns himself in to the police, people may begin to rethink their judgment. He also suggests that Hancock can leave whenever he wants. Hancock agrees to the plan and surrenders to the police. While being taken to jail, he delivers an apology speech on Ray's advice, but people still insult and criticize him publicly. Despite this, he remains calm and goes to prison. Upon entering jail, he is surrounded by inmates, many of whom are there because of him. They try to attack him, but Hancock warns them. When they refuse to stop, he brutally defeats 2 prisoners, after which no one dares to approach him again. The next day, Ray informs him that he may be sentenced to 8 years in prison. Hancock becomes anxious and considers escaping, but Ray stops him and explains that this is part of the plan. Ray explains that while Hancock remains in jail, crime in the city will increase. The police will eventually be forced to release him, and he will be seen as a true hero. Hearing this, Hancock agrees to stay in prison, realizing this may be his only chance to change his life. A few days pass in prison. During this time, Aaron visits him, and Mary tells him to respect Ray's efforts because he genuinely wants Hancock to become a better person and earn people's respect. Hancock realizes that Aaron likes him because he has never seen his negative side. To Aaron, Hancock is a true hero because he saved his father's life. With this thought, Hancock begins to believe that if he can present a positive image to the public, people might start accepting him. From that point on, Hancock's behavior slowly begins to change. Ray Embrey continues visiting him in prison and even designs a superhero suit for him. At first, Hancock dislikes the suit, but eventually he agrees to wear it. During his time in prison, he starts playing basketball with the other inmates. One day, he throws the ball so hard that it goes beyond the prison's barbed wire fence. When he flies to retrieve it, the guards suspect he is escaping and sound the alarm, but Hancock calmly returns with the ball. This shows the beginning of his change. Meanwhile, after Hancock's absence, crime in the city begins to rise because no one is there to stop it. Within a short time, the crime rate increases dramatically. The situation becomes so serious that the police chief personally calls Hancock. In another part of the city, a major bank robbery is taking place. The robbers are holding hostages inside the bank while attempting to steal money from the vault. Outside, the police and FBI are trying to rescue the hostages, leading to a heavy exchange of gunfire. At that moment, Hancock arrives. This time, following Embrey's advice, he lands smoothly without destroying the building. He is even wearing the superhero suit. He greets the police by saying, "Good job," something Embrey taught him. The police inform him that the robbers are heavily armed and firing continuously. Hancock calmly walks through the gunfire and enters the bank, as the bullets have no effect on him. Inside, he notices a female officer trapped in the middle of the firefight. He moves to rescue her while the robbers continue heavy firing, but once again, it has no effect on him. He uses a police car as a shield, rescues the officer, and safely brings her back to the police. The captain then instructs him to take down the robbers. Hancock immediately flies into action, breaking through the building and extracting the criminals one by one at incredible speed. His movement is so fast that he appears almost invisible. The leader of the robbers is left completely shocked as he watches his team disappear one after another, without understanding what is happening. Hancock finally confronts the robber leader. The leader is holding a trigger and threatening the hostages. Hancock notices that all the hostages are strapped with bombs. The leader demands that since Hancock made his men disappear, he must now break open the vault and bring out $30 million for him. He also insults Hancock. Hancock is irritated by the insult and asks him to repeat it. As soon as the robber insults him again, Hancock angrily throws a trash bin at him, killing him and saving all the hostages. After this incident, the same people who once insulted Hancock begin applauding him. He is finally seen as a true hero. Ray Embrey watches the news and becomes extremely happy. That night, a celebration party is held. During the party, while drinking, Ray reveals that Mary is not Aaron's biological mother. After Aaron's mother died, Ray met Mary while buying diapers in a supermarket, and their relationship gradually turned into love because Mary raised Aaron like her own son. Ray drinks heavily and then asks Hancock to tell his story. Hancock explains that he does not know who he truly is. Around 80 years ago, he woke up in a hospital with no memory of his identity, but with extraordinary powers. When a nurse tried to inject him, the needle bent. No one came to claim him, so the hospital labeled him as a John Doe and named him Hancock. Since then, he has been known by that name. It also becomes clear that he does not age like a normal human. After the story, night falls. Later, a drunk Ray is taken home by Hancock. After putting him to bed, Hancock encounters Mary. Hancock suddenly feels a strange attraction toward Mary. He tries to kiss her, and she briefly responds, but in the next moment she throws him outside with immense force. Hancock crashes through a wall and lands on a car, shocked. He realizes that Mary is also a superhuman like him. Mary warns him that if Ray ever finds out about this, he will destroy Hancock. Hancock is left stunned. The next morning, Ray sees that a wall of his house is destroyed. Mary tells him that it was probably caused by Hancock sneezing, and Ray believes her. Later, Hancock returns, and all three behave normally as if nothing happened. Ray Embrey receives a phone call and becomes busy. Taking advantage of the moment, Hancock tests Mary's strength by pressing a spoon against her body. When the spoon bends, he realizes that Mary is also a superhuman. Mary warns him to stop behaving like that, but Hancock ignores her and starts throwing objects at her. This makes Mary angry. Hancock suggests they talk alone, and Mary agrees. After Ray leaves for work, Mary lands in front of Hancock by flying and asks if he is like her. Hancock asks if she is also a superhuman. Mary replies that she is even more powerful than him. She then claims that Hancock is her brother. Hancock refuses to believe it, arguing that she would not have kissed him if she were his sister. Mary ignores him and flies away, and Hancock follows her. Meanwhile, Ray is busy in a corporate meeting at his office. He has been trying to push a project called All Heart, which aims to provide free medicine and essential supplies to people. However, the company executives have refused to approve it. When they learn about Ray's connection with Hancock, they finally agree to the project, but on the condition that Ray will be used for their marketing purposes. Meanwhile, Hancock and Mary fight across the streets of New York. Mary suddenly becomes extremely aggressive and throws a bus at Hancock. A violent storm-like force appears around them, destroying everything nearby. It becomes clear that Mary is far more powerful than Hancock. Hancock tries to calm her down, but the situation escalates into a massive fight, causing widespread destruction. Eventually, they end up in the same building where Ray is attending a meeting. Hancock pins Mary down and tries to calm her. Mary cries and says that every time she tries to stay away from him, Hancock pulls her back into her life. However, Hancock does not fully understand what she means and keeps apologizing. Ray watches everything in shock. Later at home, he sees Mary land in the yard by flying. He immediately asks Hancock and Mary for the truth. Mary then reveals a shocking truth. She claims that Hancock is her partner. Around 80 years ago, they were together. In the past, there were many beings like them, but almost none of them are still alive today. Mary explains that in the past, there were many beings like them, but none of them are alive anymore. Only she and Hancock remain. Hancock had lost his memory after an old accident, after which Mary left him. Later, she began living a normal life with Ray Embrey. According to Mary, she made this decision for Hancock's own good, although she never revealed the real reason. After learning the truth, Hancock falls into deep depression. He goes to a store to buy alcohol. At the same time, a news report shows that the escaped prison robber leader, the same one Hancock had previously captured, has returned and is planning revenge. At the store, when Hancock goes to pay, the shopkeeper shows him a bill of $9.10. Hancock is confused, but the shopkeeper hides the zero, signaling 911 for an emergency. Hancock realizes a robbery is happening. He immediately takes action, throwing one criminal outside, but another takes the shopkeeper hostage. Hancock deals with him as well, but the criminal shoots Hancock in the process. For the first time, Hancock realizes he is injured and bleeding. He is shocked because this has never happened before. Is he losing his powers? Before he can understand, he collapses and is rushed to the hospital. The news spreads across television. Ray Embrey rushes to the hospital after hearing the news, but is surrounded by reporters. Meanwhile, Mary arrives first and sits beside Hancock. She tells him that she had already warned him that they should not stay together. Mary explains that whenever they are close, their powers slowly fade, and they begin to become ordinary humans. This is why she left Hancock 80 years ago. She also reveals that when she first met Ray at the beginning of the film, she immediately recognized Hancock and tried to keep him away from her, but she failed. Mary then shows the scars on Hancock's body and explains their long history. Over centuries, many people tried to kill them. 4 years before the birth of Christ, a group attacked Mary with swords, but Hancock saved her. Later, people tried to burn Mary alive, and again, Hancock rescued her by entering the flames. However, during the last attack 80 years ago, Hancock was severely injured and lost his memory. His personality completely changed. Mary then realized it was time to leave him. If she stayed away, both of them would survive. With a heavy heart, she left him. Ray Embrey stands at a distance and hears everything between Mary and Hancock. He begins to understand their past, but suddenly, one of Red Parker's men shoots Mary with a rifle. Mary collapses instantly, as her powers had already weakened due to being close to Hancock. Parker's men take advantage of the situation and attack, intending to kill both Hancock and Mary. Hancock fights back furiously and easily takes down several attackers, but his own condition is also rapidly weakening. Meanwhile, doctors try to save Mary, but her condition continues to worsen. A strong attacker hits Hancock with a gas cylinder, seriously injuring him. Despite the pain, Hancock manages to defeat him as well. However, Mary's condition deteriorates further. Her heartbeat slows down and she approaches death. Doctors try to revive her using electric shocks. As Mary receives the shocks, Hancock also feels them, and his condition worsens as well. At that moment, Red Parker appears and shoots Hancock, causing him to collapse. Parker mocks him, saying his end is near and that he is headed to heaven or hell. Just as Parker is about to finish him off, Ray Embrey suddenly arrives and cuts off Parker's arm with an axe, then kills him with a final blow. Ray manages to save Hancock, but the situation is now worse than before. Both Hancock and Mary are critically injured and close to death. Unable to bear the situation, Ray sits on a bench with Aaron. On one side is his best friend Hancock, and on the other is Mary. Everyone is on the verge of death, and the situation has completely spiraled out of control. But suddenly, like a miracle, Hancock regains consciousness. At the same time, Mary's heartbeat also returns. Hancock immediately jumps out of the building window and uses whatever strength he has left to fly away from Mary. He struggles several times and even falls while trying to fly properly. However, as he moves farther away from Mary, both of their conditions slowly begin to improve. This confirms what Mary had said. When they stay close, they weaken, but when they are apart, they regain strength. Finally, Hancock gathers all his remaining power and flies far away. At the same time, Mary also fully regains consciousness. A month later, life begins to return to normal. Mary and Ray are spending time on vacation with Aaron, and everything seems peaceful again. Suddenly, Ray receives a phone call from Hancock. Hancock asks him to look up. When Ray and Mary look up at the sky, they are shocked. In the night sky, within the full moon, the words "All Heart" appear, created on the surface of the moon by Hancock himself. Hancock tells Ray that he is the real superhero, not because of power, but because of his heart and vision. People like him make the world better. Hancock says he will always continue helping people, no matter where he is. With this, the extraordinary fantasy film comes to an end. But the story doesn't end here. In the post-credits scene, Hancock appears again, facing another criminal. When the criminal insults him with the same word he hates, it is clear that Hancock's response will be even more intense than before. This hints that his story may continue in the future.